What's going on, friends? Logan Myers here for Cinephellas.com. The Oscars are upon us. We're really excited. And so I thought I'd go through some of the flicks that are nominated for the upcoming Oscars and, do a little review of them. First flick I want to talk about is A Star is Born, written and directed by Bradley Cooper. Obviously, Bradley Cooper is no stranger to the film industry behind the camera and on camera. He's a comedic. He can play dramatic roles. He's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, he's all over the place. We've already seen A Star is Born. I think it was released, the first one was back in the 50s with Judy Garland, and then we had the one with Barbara Streisand, Chris Christopherson that came out in the 70s. And this time around, it's pretty much the same setup. We have a musician named Jackson Maine that's played by Bradley Cooper. He's a big star. He has a really big drug and alcohol issue, so you see that early on in the film. I mean, he's fantastic live. He can really sing, perform, but after the show is over, you see the darker sides of Jackson Maine's life. You can see how much he dives into the bottle and gets blackout drunk. Early on in the film, he goes to a bar after a show, and he sees a young performer singing at this bar named Allie, played by Lady Gaga. Obviously, he falls head over heels for her, loves her voice. They strike up a conversation, just talking about music and life in general and how much he likes her performance and her singing. She's really nervous and shy. She doesn't like performing her own music and, just really shy. So he's trying to bring her out of that shell. He continues on tour, but they keep in contact, and eventually things turn into something else with their relationship. He really brings that outside of Allie, getting out of her comfort zone and really showing the world how she can sing and perform. It has an amazing voice. And one thing that's really great about this, and a few films in 2018, the other one being Bohemian Rhapsody, is this take on live musicians and music and the entertainment business and what goes into that and the darker sides. The way they film this is over like concerts over the summer. They go up and shoot these scenes like it's a live performance. And I thought it was really well done. You could see that the audience was actually there. It's not all CGI like in Bohemian Rhapsody. But you could tell the audience was really there, really involved in making this movie. And seeing Bradley Cooper perform with Lady Gaga, which is phenomenal. Bradley Cooper pulled off this, country rock star image, and he could really sing. He sounded like Sam Elliott too when he talked, which is funny because Sam Elliott's in the movie playing his brother. But he really had that like deeper, kind of twangy voice, and especially when he's singing. So The Star is Born is essentially the setup of the relationship and bringing Allie into the show business and her becoming this big star where Jack kind of backs off because he's dealing with his own demons and addictions, and he's already lived this lifestyle for so long and he's pretty much over it. He just wants to drink and forget about life and being famous. So you definitely see some role reversal here. And throughout the film, Allie's always trying to bring Jack up, but he has some really deep addictions and problems that stem from his childhood that's led up to him being an adult that he's still trying to deal with and using drugs and alcohol for all the wrong reasons. And I will say the first two acts of this movie are very, very slow. I understand they're trying to build this relationship, this story of, musicians and things that they're dealing with and addiction and things like that, but it was just a very, very slow burn. Felt like it was a never-ending music video because there's so many live performances, anything in between kind of holding it together. But with that being said, the last hour of this movie is phenomenal. It really pulls at your heartstrings. It keeps you involved. So don't give up on this movie like me. I almost did, but I'm glad I stuck with it and really saw what happened to these characters and how it all ends. So there's some really great performances in this movie. Like I said, Allie, played by Lady Gaga. Obviously, she's a huge pop star. She does have some acting chops. We've seen her in American Horror Story, and she really sells this character. This is Lady Gaga's movie, in my opinion. Just seeing the way that she rises into fame, just being this small town girl that has these vocal pipes, but you see her rise to being famous and her working her ass off and really kicking ass at live performances and getting signed and just seeing her on the rise where Bradley Cooper playing Jackson Maine, you see the downfall of him really hitting rock bottom a few times and just really dealing with alcoholism and not cleaning up, not seeing the good things that he has in his life, being Allie. Also in this film, Sam Elliott, he needs no introduction. Huge fan of his. I'm going to bring up Roadhouse. I love that movie. He was just on TV recently.
That gal's got entirely too many brains to have an ass like that. You got your hands full, kid.
But this guy's been acting for a long time and he still holds up. He's a great actor. He's nominated for this film for Best Supporting Actor, and it really shows, and I think he really carried this movie a lot, too, when you see Jackson hit rock bottom. His older brother's always there to pick him up when he's too hammered to walk and putting him to bed. He's always there for him. Other performances in this movie, a smaller role is Dave Chappelle played in this. He had a small part, but he was really good. I love seeing him in movies and TV shows. I'm a huge fan of his, but he was not really comedic in this, more of a serious role. But, you know, he really pulled it off. And I will say the music, the original music they composed for this movie, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga singing these songs together, I mean, they were really well done. A Star is Born is a very compelling story. The way that they set this up from the first to the third to the very end of the movie where it just pulls out your heart. I'm not going to say what happens, but it's very heart-wrenching how everything pans out for one particular character. So overall, I had a good time with A Star is Born. People have been talking about this movie's nominated for a ton of Oscars, and I can see why everybody loves this story and loves these characters and performances. And I will have to admit that the performances in this movie really make it really great, and I think Lady Gaga was the standout performance in this movie, seeing her rise into this character and her showing off her vocal skills, and she did a really great job as an actress. Bradley Cooper again directing, starring in this movie. Loved Sam Elliott, Dave Chappelle. Really great cast. The first two acts are a little slow, but it really sets it up for the emotional ending of this film. So stick with it. If it's kind of boring, just stick with it, it'll get better. So overall, I'm going to give A Star is Born a 4 out of 5 Jackson Maine hair pieces. What did you think of A Star is Born? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Meyer signing out with my good mate here, Jackson Maine and Allie. Until the next video review. Cheers!